Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922 here to do this Bleach chapter review. The ending of this Bleach chapter, I want to state this right now. If Bach is doing what I think he is doing, Kubo, no. Because at the end of this chapter, now the chapter overall, I mean, I'm giving this a 3. I'm dead serious. This gets a 3 out of 5. I'm sorry. But, you know, listen, like, and this is starting to irk me a bit. Like, you know, it's starting to irk me. Because in this chapter, Candace, you know, continues to fight Ichigo. She loses an arm. Kind of funny scene with Z. I thought that was adorable. She was like, "Oh, you need me," you know. And she heals her arm, and then she fights continuously. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like, what the fuck was Basby doing? Did he just automatically annihilate Shinji and then just swoops right over here to fight Ichigo? I'm like, who are you, the Flash? And not just him. Na-na-na. Mr. We don't even... And here's the thing that pisses me off. If this happens next week. We don't fucking even know the guy that looks like Colonel Sanders. We don't know his name. We don't know his abilities. We don't know his letter. And then there's that other guy. The black guy. With the staff. We don't know his abilities. We don't know who his name is. If Kubo next week does what I think he's going to do, and have Bach do what I think he's going to do, then next week will be a major rant on the channel. Because then it is clear Kubo doesn't give a fuck. I'm just saying. But yeah, you know, basically, like I said, we basically had, in the beginning, like I said, she loses her arm, Catnip. And, you know, even Ichigo in this chapter pissed me off. He's like, "Void, you idiot!" And then basically, we have Bach and Hoshwell saying the key. And he says, "I understand, be grateful, to all those who guided us to the light." Yeah. If Bach, like I said, listen, I'm telling you guys right now, if Bach is going to do what I think he's going to do next week, no review. Major rant. Major. Because, you know, but basically he says that, and, you know, we have, like I said, this Headless Star 3, 584. Like I said, she loses an arm, you know, she funny with Z wielding it. And then she uses the zombified Soul Reapers, I guess their flesh to heal her arm. And it's like, they basically tell her, "You need to turn it down the bitch meter a few notches." You know, how about with this guy? He's like, "I'm coming for your Ichigo. This time your ass is mine." And then out of nowhere, she gets shot. I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? And I saw the blast. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So wait, Basby just killed Shinji and just ran over here? Right. So Shinji gets annihilated again. Good job, Kubo. So basically, you know, that happens, and, you know, they get fodderized, the girls, and she says, "Oh, almost the problem of doing this. You guys could just die now." And this is what I hope. I hope Kubo has a brain, and he decides, next week, Grimjo shows up. Because that's what I want to see happen. I want to see someone come out and put Basby down a few pegs. And I hope that's Grimjo does that. So, he basically says that Basby saying, don't hate the player, hate the game. Stealing others' prey is a special privilege only latecomers can entitled to. And he's like, you agree with me, Ichigo Kurosaki. He's just looking at him. And then these other guys show up, and since all of us are here now. And it's na-na-na, Mr. I'm the Colonel Sanders, and guy floating on... And here's the thing. You notice I'm saying Colonel Sanders and guy floating on I don't even know that guy's name. We don't know the guy's name. We don't know... Well, I might have known... It might have been said in previous chapter. The guy with the staff. But the Colonel Sanders, we don't know his fucking name. We don't know his letter. We don't know shit of his abilities. We know Nanana's there. We haven't seen him fight. We haven't seen... Those three guys that showed up with Basby, we haven't seen them fight. At all. And I'm like... So they show up, and, they're saying, we will divide it equally. And he's like, you suck at math. It's not 4 people, it's 8. And they're all basically ganging up and saying... And G basically says, if we'd all talk about dividing equally, there's only one achievement to be earned here. The person who takes his head gets everything. And then after, out of nowhere, this beam of light shows up. And he's like, a light now what? And says a single white ray of light pierces through this empty sky. And this is what Bach says. And this pissed me off. Because I know what it means. I know what it means. He says, let us be on our way, my sons. It is time to be one with me. You know what that spells? Yeah, he's actually going to have Basby, Nanana, and the other 2 guys, including Nanana, who we haven't seen fought at all, merge with him. Are you fucking kidding me? So that means we're not going to see Nanana's abilities. We're not going to see Sir Colonel Sanders' abilities. We're not going to know any of that shit. Instead, we're all going to just merge with Bach. Well, Kubo, if you do that next week, I'm not going to give your chapter a big fat 0. I'm very pissed about this, by the way. Very. Very. We saw the Stern Raider girls' abilities, G, P, Candace, and Z. That's not what I'm upset about. The guy with the staff, we don't know his name. We don't know his name. Well, we do know his name. Apologies there. I'm a little anxious. We have found out his name a couple of chapters ago. But we never seen him fight. We don't know his abilities. No. We haven't seen him fight. Colonel Sanders, we don't even know his name. So, if Bach comes in this play for next week, and he just merges with everybody, I'm like, Kubo, then what the fuck was the point of introducing them? What was the point of having these characters show up? That is big time horseshit. Now, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope Kubo actually has a fucking brain. And he decides... Oh, by the way, I'll call this review/rant, because... And he decides to, I don't know, bring people in to help Ichigo. And they fight the Sternritters. Grimjow shows up, and he fights Basby. I don't like them, but they show up. Ginjo, I say Grimjow, and Ginjo shows up, and Tsukishima shows up, and Guriko shows up. So that's 4 people against 4. And the other 4, you have the three Ankar girls show up. They fight them. And Rukia shows up, and she fights one of the other Sternritter girls. That all happens, and Ichigo ends up fighting Uryu, who shows up. Let's have it that way. Because, here's the thing. If you cop out Kubo, and you just have them merge, then that's like just taking an eraser and erasing the characters from existence. I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel, people. I think this is a cop-out. This is horseshit. This is not how you should go about doing it. It's not. It's not. I don't know what everyone else is saying, but as far as I'm concerned, yeah, I'm really, especially when you consider the fact that since this second part of the final arc has started, Kubo's doing a lot of bullshit. I can only count 2 fights that I can honestly say, okay, that was pretty good. Renji against Master Masculine, and slightly, but this was only briefly. I wouldn't even consider it a badass fight. Kumamura against Bambietta. Everything else in this part has been crap. It really has. This whole thing, the Zaraki fight, I don't understand why it took that long. I don't understand why it just seemed. It wasn't creative. It wasn't that good. And like now, I just wonder: are you rushing this, Kubo? Like, what are you doing? Like, really? I'm sorry I had to do this, but it had to be done. Because if that ending means they're merging with Bach, Kubo, you should be ashamed of yourself. He should be ashamed of himself. He should look in the mirror and slap himself in the face and realize, I fucked up. I fucked up. Because for you to introduce characters, these sternritters, who we don't even know the rest of them, and all of a sudden, this chapter, which is going to be chapter 585, you know what? I've decided, Bach, yeah, you're going to merge with these guys. Yeah. What about those characters? What about this guy who we don't have to worry about him. He's fodder. That's what he's saying. I'm sorry, people, but that is what Kubo is saying. He is saying, guy with mustache, you're fodder. Guy with staff, you're fodder. We're not going to see your abilities. You're going to merge with Bach. Really? Really? That's what's going to happen. I'm sorry that it had to be a 3 out of 5, but I just don't understand that ending. Why would you say that, Kubo? Why would you have Bach say that if not suggesting that he's going to merge with them? Now, maybe I'm wrong. If next week I am wrong, I will take everything out. Everything. I will take back everything. But as far as I'm concerned, from now, this is the way I feel. It gets a 3 out of 5. If next week this happens, fuck Kubo. Yeah, fuck Kubo. Because here's the thing. He has to deliver this arc. Because the arc before here was a big pile of dog shit. And I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. That Fullbringer arc. And here's another thing to think about. Where the fuck are the Fullbringers? Now, I know this is something that I shouldn't be talking about. Because people are going to say, calm down. He's still got to get to it. He's going to get to it. I understand that. But here's the thing. Why did you introduce these sternritters if you're just going to have Bach absorb them? Because that's what this is saying. I'll read the comment. I'll read it again. It says, it is time to be one with me. And it says, could it be? He says, let it be one with me. Be one with me. I'm sorry, people, but I do not endorse this chapter. So, the way I see it is this. Now, here's one thing. If next week someone interrupts Bach, like someone decides to show up and interrupts him from doing whatever he's going to do, then I would say, okay. But I swear to God, if the guy with the Colonel Sanders, that looks like Colonel Sanders, if the black guy with the staff, if Na and Basby, all four of those guys, including the Sternritter girls, are absorbed into Bach again, I'm going to scream fucking bloody murder. I'm going to look at this screen, and I'm going to raise my middle finger and say, fuck you, Kubo. Because let me tell you something right now. Your shit is almost, 15th place? And this is not the way to do it. I will finish Bleach, but if next week he does that, I can't defend Kubo's actions anymore. You basically started this arc so high, and now you're just hitting rock bottom. And that's the way I see it. So I had to go in on this 16 minutes, but that ending really is telling me, yeah, Kubo, you're going to get some death threats. You're going to get some people saying, your shit sucks. Oh, by the way, if that happens, I will not be reading another work with Kubo. No. Because as far as I'm concerned, this isn't looking good. But that's my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think. Comments section below. Bonkai922. I'm sorry. My name might be Bonkai922, but I do not endorse Kubo doing this shit. If he absorbs these guys, fuck him. Fuck the chapter next week if he does that. So yeah. I'm Bonkai922. I will see you guys later. Peace.